The hidden system behind male dysmorphia on social media. If you scroll through Instagram or TikTok for just a few minutes, you'll start to notice a pattern. Lean, muscular, perfect bodies. But what if I told you that the more young men see this content, the more likely they are to feel dissatisfied with their own personal bodies? This isn't just about confidence. It's about a growing mental health issue and a system that keeps it going. This issue is known as male body dysmorphia, a particular muscle dysmorphia, a subtype of body dysmorphic disorder. Body dysmorphia causes individuals to become obsessed with the idea that their body is not lean or muscular enough, even though it is. And while this issue may seem uncommon, studies estimate 2.8% of men are affected by this ongoing issue. Picture this. A 19-year-old student opens TikTok after the gym. He watches one video of a fitness influencer with a lean, muscular body. He pauses, watches it again, maybe compares himself. Then he scrolls and sees another, and another. Within minutes, his entire feed is filled with the same body type. What started as one video has now become his normal, and without realizing it, his expectations of his own body have now shifted. The primary stakeholders are young men, particularly students and frequent social media users. They are immersed in a constant stream of idolized physiques that are curated, filtered, and often unattainable. The consequences extend beyond dissatisfaction. They include compulsive training, restrictive eating, and, in more extreme cases, the use of performance-enhancing drugs such as steroids. Psychologically, this is linked to increased anxiety, depression, and social withdrawal. At a broader level, this represents a growing public health issue with long-term implications for mental well-being and healthcare systems. Importantly, this is not just an individual issue. Research shows a significant association between social media use and increased symptoms of muscle dysmorphia. To understand why this problem exists, we need to move beyond individuals and examine the entire system. First, platforms operated by companies such as Meta platforms are designed to maximize user engagement. Second, fitness influencers operate within an attention economy, where highly aesthetic, often unrealistic physiques generate visibility, followers, and income. Third, the fitness and supplement industry capitalizes on dissatisfaction by offering products framed as solutions. However, the most influential factor is not any single stakeholder, but the algorithmic systems that connect them. These algorithms prioritize content that maximizes watch time and interaction. And research indicates that exposure to muscularity-focused content significantly increases the likelihood of muscle dysmorphia. This reveals a critical tension. Platforms are optimized for engagement and profit, while users are seeking confidence, identity, and well-being. Yet, the content that most effectively drives engagement is often the same content that undermines well-being. These dynamics form a self-reinforcing cycle. Exposure to idolized physiques triggers comparison and dissatisfaction. That dissatisfaction increases engagement through scrolling, liking, and repeated viewing. The algorithm responds by amplifying similar, often more extreme, content. Over time, the perceived normal standard becomes increasingly unrealistic, which deepens dissatisfaction and further increases engagement. This is the vicious cycle. In this way, the system does not just reflect user preferences. It actively shapes and intensifies them. The persistence of this issue is also driven by conflicting stakeholder interests. What makes this cycle particularly powerful is that it becomes personalized. Over time, the algorithm learns exactly what triggers the user's attention, including their insecurities. So the content becomes more extreme, more targeted, and harder to avoid. This creates a feedback loop where the user is not just consuming content, they are being shaped by it. And because this process happens gradually, it often goes unnoticed. Social media companies benefit financially from engagement, even if the engagement is driven by insecurity. Influencers rely on maintaining idolized bodies, while audiences internalize these standards. At the same time, the fitness industry profits from the gap between perceived and desired bodies. These tensions create a system where addressing the problem would require stakeholders to act against their own incentives. Male body dysmorphia is perceived as a personal issue, a matter of self esteem or mindset, but this perspective is incomplete. What we are seeing is an outcome of a system where algorithms, economic incentives, and social validation interact to normalize unrealistic standards. Until those underlying dynamics are understood, the problem will not only persist, it will continue to grow. What makes this problem complex is that it's not driven by people, it's driven by an algorithm. Algorithms don't understand health or well being, they only optimize for one thing: attention. If a user watches a fitness video for longer, they interpret that as value, regardless of why they watched it so many times. The algorithm cannot distinguish between admiration and insecurity. So even negative emotions like feeling inadequate are treated as engagement signals. And this means that the system unintentionally rewards content that may harm users.